Hello, hi, Molweni, and welcome back to another new episode of Life with the Siphe. Welcome. Remember, first things first, please don't forget to subscribe, as well as share if you like the video, and your comments below are more than welcome. Let's see what you think about the specific topic and how you may view it. Welcome back. I always nervous when I start this. I think because I love it so much and because it heals me so much. So as you can see, I'm sweating. It is hot. But welcome, relax, and I hope you enjoy this episode. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak about black frequency, right? But I want to make you aware that black frequency is not just in one statement or one context, but I want to talk about it in this specific unit. And it's something, I want to call it a theme, but it's a recurring theme that I have been dealing with in the last couple of months in my life, and I'm learning a lot about it. And I always say on this channel and this platform, because I respect it so much and I feel it is so valuable, I don't want to just come here and speak because I can, but I want to give you something meaningful. I want to give you something insightful. I want to give you something to think about, and maybe even plant a seed in you for you to go and do your own research, right? So today, lovely people, we are going to talk about the curse with black people. Also, don't want to throw the word curse loosely, but in the sense of black is a frequency, right? And I want to speak about the black family, the curse in the black family. I find myself a lot conversating with someone, and then I'll mention a situation, probably something that transpired in my family, and then I noticed, then I found myself then going at the end, it happens in all black families, which then started to seed a thought in me, to seed a dialogue in me then, that what is this thing, why is it black families, why is it a norm, why is it okay for something so traumatic or horrific or unprecedented or just something disturbing, and it's okay to say, I know, but we all know in black families, we deal with such stuff. So this is what's inspired this episode, which I will title The Black Family. So actually, it's interesting to know that I would actually call this episode a part two of the episode I did with feminine and masculine energy, right? Where I sort of like gave you terms and I gave you insight of my mind on how I understand it, and I hope you thought about it yourself and you're able to identify the masculine and the feminine within yourself, right? So as a continuation to that, I want us to talk about the black family. The black family, firstly, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, but society is built in such a way that we don't have a lot of black families we can look up to. We don't have, in our own families, in our own homesteads. I'm not talking socially in the world. We don't have references of healthy, happy black families. As black people, we struggle with so many things that I think the black family is probably way at the end of the list, right? Okay, actually, whoa, sorry, something's going on. You know what? I'll be very honest with you. I can just feel myself while I'm talking. I'm very nervous, and I think it's because this topic for me is so important, and I hope the message reaches, and I hope this episode is everything I desire it to be. Not I, in fact, my ancestors, because I feel like I don't just talk things. I don't just talk about things lightly, right? So, let me just breathe and hold into my thought, because it's something really deep, and I'm not even going to scratch the surface about it. But like I said, just to plant a seed, and just a few of my thoughts on it. So the black family, right? I'll make an example about myself. You guys know I always make reference. I'm my first case study, right? Um, I come from a home of a single mother. My mom is the last born of 5 kids. My grandmother was married. My grandfather passed away before I was born, right? Um, my mom, I think she mentions that her father passed away at like 11, 12. So she's got references of her dad here and there. I've got 2 uncles, 3 in fact. One passed away. May his soul rest in peace. Yes, so actually all 3 of my uncles were married, right? But I was never privy to actually see and understand that. I always saw it from the outside, but obviously as I grew up, then I got to see more dynamics of it. But I won't lie to you and say that I'd be like, I would watch, say, one of my uncles' marriage with 8 kids and be like, oh, I want that, because I don't know how to want what I don't know, right? And in that context with those families, I was just so content. I don't think it was an altering thing for me, right? But as a young woman right now, at the age of 28, I long for family. I long for unity, for companionship. I'm so excited and I can't wait for that chapter of my life. And sometimes I ask myself, Siphe, why do you want this thing so badly? Why is it so important for you to have a husband and children? Why do you want that family unit, right? And for a long time I thought it was my thinking. I thought I was just like, being a typical person, like what you see in the movies, that you must go to school, get married, have kids, 9 yards and all that, and you've made it in life, right? But I realized it's something deeper. It's something in my DNA. It's something calling to me that I don't even just want it for myself. It's the million possibilities I foresee with 2-parent households, something I've never experienced. So I've been in a household of multiple parents in the home, but not in the traditional sense of a mother and father altogether. I even remember there was a time in my life where, when I was in high school and my dad and I were having problems, and I had reached my quota and I was like, I've had it enough with him. He's like, our relationship, he's just not, it's not doing the things. And I remember the first thing he said to me, he was like, what, are you mad at me because I didn't marry your mother? And I'm like, whoa, hold up, actually reverse and rewind. Look here, I have never witnessed my mom and my dad's relationships. They're good friends, don't get me wrong. But I don't know the part of them too when they are, a thing. They're in the middle of a pandemic. Never witnessed that. So, and at the time, it was a thing of, I know my mom so well and I understand my mom, and I could see who my dad was at the time. And for me, it was like, no, my mom would have no business marrying my dad or being with my dad in that way, right? So, and the crazy thing is, my dad has always been married. My dad's been married a couple of times. But even there, in that context of his, I also just knew he was married, but not exposed to the black family, like in the way that I'm speaking of in black, the black frequency, right? So now I want to take it back to ancient times, history, pre-colonial, right? I'm not sure if you know this, or if this is the first time you're hearing about it, I suggest you go have a look at it. That the first thing that the colonizers did was to take away the black man from the family, right? It took them to war. It took them out of their homes. Bayophangela eGoli, bashiya abantwana nabazali babo, to make a better life for them. But there were things along the way men came across that they couldn't articulate and they couldn't express. And then what happens when they have a chance to come back home? Then they can't deal with what's in the home. What do? Alcohol, taverns. Why do we think taverns are like so epic and they make it in every village, in every corner of South Africa, right? Because the black man would rather go sit with Ngutu than go home and sit with his children and sit with his wife. And I don't even want to, like I said, guys, I'm literally just scratching the surface with this. I don't even want to go into the million possibilities of what the black man is thinking or is going through, that he would rather go sit at tavern with Ingotu than be with his own children and his family. Right. So what does this cause now when the black man is taken out of the family? The women are then naturally and instinctively step into what in today's world we see as independent, too strong women, the angry black women. No. Instinctively, then they become everything of the home. Not undermining the man, not yes, they did what they had to do. Women had to then wear multiple hats. They had to be mom, they had to be dad, they had to be a companion, a friend to their kids. They had to be a helper. They had to build a home, right? And in that instance, as that is happening as a child, you're watching your mother be everything, and you know your dad is there, also or whatever your context is. But your dad comes back once a year. How do you build a relationship with a person you only see once a year, where he is only just taught to you and explained to you as just this this human being who, I'm sorry to use these words, but is a sperm donor essentially, because what happened, you are told this is your father, or your father works in Joburg, your father's trying to provide for us, but you don't know your father. You see your father once a year. And in that space of time, even when your father's around, there isn't enough time for him to even adjust or even understand or even have the chance to think that, oh wow, I actually want to get to know my children, rather than I've been working all year, I'm making sure that you guys are fed, you guys have a school uniform and all these things, right? So what this cause now is a generation of us black children suffering and struggling emotionally, socially, psychologically, and this is where love comes in, a big sense of love. Now, you are growing up as this human being, and whether you're male or female, as a male, maybe what you take away from that situation is, as long as when I'm older, I'm able to make money and provide for my family, that's it. That's good. I've mastered it. I've done it. As a woman, a girl child who becomes a woman, you look at your mom being superwoman and you like, that's it. That's what I'm modeling. As soon as I'm an adult and I'm older, when I get into the world, I am going to be the best superhuman, superwoman version of myself I could ever imagine, because I've seen my mom do it. And then this is why in my age group, a female like me is seen as someone who's like super strong or super independent, or thinks I know it all, or I think I can do it all by myself. And like in the previous video I mentioned in the masculine and feminine episode, where I say that, guys, it's not that you want to emulate where you feel like you're just only giving off masculine energy, where I can do everything by myself. But sometimes situation and setting within your psyche just automatically pushes us into that zone, because it's like, this is a situation and it requires me to give off more of my masculine than my feminine energy, right? So then that's what happens, right, when the black man is taken out of the family. But now I want to say, right, I want to bring to the table, scientifically it's proven our blood, our DNA has been encoded with your bloodline, you know, abantu abaphansi, abantu abadala, your ancestors. Genetically speaking, as the generation of today, you are able to feel, experience, and be exposed to some of the things that your ancestors were exposed to. And it's because as a people, as black people, we're not healing. And sometimes you find that the family is going through the same constant cycle, absent fathers, or uncles or fathers that become sexually abusive, or it all traces back, guys. We didn't just become the way that we are. And there's so many injustices that have happened and that are still happening to black men, to black women, and our bloodlines, abantu abadala, abantu abaphansi, our ancestors, are speaking to us individually in our family units, in our bloodlines. They are calling out to us to heal the things that happened to them in the past. And I think as black people, right, unity is the way. Guys, we can talk for hours about how do we heal as a people and how do we move forward. The first thing is unity. For the fact that my next door neighbor, because she's got a job and I don't have a job already, the system is winning, hands down, you understand. But unity is the first one, right? But then with that unity as well, it's the importance in understanding and us valuing the black family. I'm speaking to now my age group. I'm speaking to the black men. I'm speaking to the young women in my age group where this Njolo thing, we joke about it when we call it a pandemic and we say men are trash and people are cheating and it's just a lot. But I think if we go back inside and we ask our bloodline, we ask our ancestors, what to lead us, to guide us as into the hurt in our bloodlines that we need to expose in order to allow healing and for light to come in them, for us to be better individuals, to better ourselves to heal ourselves in our blood, to be able to recognize and to understand and to start seeing each other, black women and black men now, as the importance there is in, by me becoming the best version of myself, I'm able to align with a partner that is spiritually aligned, that is self-aware, that is self-loving, that is respectful, that is not scared of his vulnerability, his feminine side, that is healed, that we understand when we come together as a unit, it is beyond just him and I and us just wanting to be in love or wanting to make babies, scientifically, or just to do what we think is successful in life, to get married and have kids, but to actually understand the cracks and the roots and the importance of when two clans come together to, when they say esiXhoseni, a woman giving birth and falling pregnant has become so nonchalant, and we are losing the cracks of what it means for a woman to bear life, for a woman to say you understand, to take it back to pre-colonized times where men of today understand umntana is not just your child by having your blood, but you need to be able to activate what is in the child by rightfully doing what you need to do for your child as a man, to welcome your child into your lineage, into your bloodline, into your protection, you understand, into your forefathers, into legacy of a black family. I don't want to lie, there's so many things going on in my head and it just hit me. I have to have this conversation again, but I actually just want to invite someone into an episode and just have a back and forth conversation about this, because guys, I wish Yazi I could literally just lit up my mind and show you what I am thinking. But I just feel like it's not translating as quickly as I'm thinking, because like one of the big things for me, it's like I think the minute as young black women and men we start understanding the importance of the black family, Umjolo will then shift from this thing that is so materialistic, that is so vain, that is so couple goals, that is so, it's the next step for me. Like, I feel like we've lost the meaning of companionship. In fact, not even lost it. Some of us have never even been privy to it. We don't understand it. So therefore, we don't know how to fully be in it and really understand it and value it for what it stands for. Yeah. I'll leave it there for now. I'll go more into this, guys, I promise, with another person in an episode, because I feel like there's so much to be said and discussed, and to also just hear other people's views on the matter. But I think my main message, if anything, with me rambling and going on in this episode, I hope the one thing you take away and you understand, as a black child, that please stop seeing umjolo as just a means to an end, or physical, or about desire, or about pleasure, or just meeting your physical needs, but start understanding what it means for your lineage, what it means for your legacy as a black child, and healing your blood, your bloodline, your lineage. I mean, one of the things I think of, something someone told me that was so beautiful. You know, I think we also have this distorted understanding of what lobola stands for, because the Western world is like, oh, what? So you're paying for your wife? No, there's something more deeper, and there's the thing where our customs as black people have been taken into a Western context where they take out meaning out of them, which is, that's how we lose it. That's how we lose the plot. That's how we lose the mark. But in any case, in the case of Olobola, right? You know, when they come into the yard and bacela ungeniswa as the first day of negotiation, someone told me something so beautiful where they were like, do you know, when those uncles come in, they don't just greet the people, whoever's letting them in the gates. And as they come and they call out egatini, is bongo, clear names, is it duko of the family that they're asking entrance to. You know, bazokwaza bame 18 but konozulo nompofana no telers sizocela ubuhlobo. They're not shouting because they're trying to get attention of the people in the house for them to come open the gate, but saying your clear names is a sense, is a sort of prayer. And as they call out and they are opened, they're not just calling the living people within the homestead or getting the attention of the living people, but they are awakening and they're calling upon the ancestors of this home to let them in, not just physically but spiritually, as they come and try to build unity. Come on now, you understand? And as they get in and they're like, that is the black family. That is why in our culture as black people, you can't just go marry yourself off, because you're not just you. Andihambi nethandi amakhulu bam nesenyanya zam nokhukhu bam. I can't do sound it. Okay, actually, I just got carried away. But what I'm trying to say to you, I want you to. So you can't just go marry off yourself in home affairs. You can't just. You understand? And man, the black family is important. Now, I just want to take the black family and link it to black frequency. Black is a frequency, ladies and gentlemen. What does this mean? This means everything about you as a black child is a frequency. It's whether it is vibration from music, from sound, from how you move, your rhythmic element. It all is speaking to you. It's constantly inspiring you. It's constantly talking to you. It's constantly guiding you. It's constantly. It's a beautiful thing, and I don't have a clear definition of what black frequency is, but I know for me it's a feeling. I know it's an understanding that before Siphe namhla nozinto afana ngichuma nokutheletsi, a female, a last born, a daughter, a granddaughter, I am a black child. Even that on its own is tapping into a space that just allows me to be elevated to who I truly am. So, yes, I think, as I've always said in all of my other episodes, guys, it's all about knowing yourself. It's all about returning to your true self beyond name and form. I'm talking about spirit. I'm talking about, you know, the saying, we are spirits having a human experience. Going back to your true inner self, and with you knowing yourself, working on yourself, mastering yourself, loving on yourself, respecting yourself, you are then able to understand all those that came before you and that are in you, that are in your bloodline, that walk with you, that protect you, that provide for you, that guide you. That by the time you are walking on your own, and then by the time you meet your significant other, there's a whole lot more understanding respect, honor that there is in that union than just two people coming together to start a family just for just. I'm definitely going to talk about black families again because I feel like there's so much more to talk about. But thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time, remember to do that thing that makes you human. Love you.